The future of higher education in the UK is at a crossroads.
The University and College Union has warned that over 5,000 jobs are already marked for cuts this year, and if current trends continue, more than 5,000 additional posts could follow.
We have a choice: continue down this path of a boom and bust approach, cutting jobs and course offering, or make the necessary investment to secure our universities as pillars of innovation, growth and opportunity.
If some institutions are being forced into short-term reactive cuts while others remain relatively stable, we must ask why.
I do believe that we've got to revisit the whole funding model. Tweaking around the edges is not for this time.
As we have seen over the last 14 years, the funding model for higher education be trashed, and we've seen higher education be so disrespected by the Conservatives, but enough is enough.
She takes some responsibility on behalf of her party for the situation that many universities find themselves in.
Questions should be targeted to the Minister today, because what we should deal with is the situation we have now and make the right decisions in order that we do the right thing for our country, for our students, for our university staff.
I believe new data suggests that up to 72% of providers could be in deficit by the 25-26 academic year without any mitigating action from the government.
As independent institution providers, they are responsible for managing their budgets. This government does not intervene in these matters or in disputes between providers and their staff. However, we expect providers to engage constructively with their workforce, to identify ways to reduce unnecessary expenditure while ensuring sustainability.
What is extremely disappointing to me is the refusal of management to even engage with the union to look at transitional arrangements and future planning.
But the loss of knowledge and expertise when staff go lasts for not just years, but it can last for generations to come.
We know about the mental health challenges, the stress that people are experiencing, and those workloads, of course, are going up.
I think listening to people at UCU, it sometimes feels that staff are not necessarily as fully involved as they should be in some of this decision-making processes.
If we continue to cut essential departments, English, nursing, modern foreign languages, where will our teachers and professionals will come from?
It's been estimated by a report by Universities UK that more than 400,000 extra graduates will be needed in Wales by 2035 in order to respond to the skill gaps and workforce challenges of the future. Now that's clearly a problem if we then have a situation in Wales where institution after institution is announcing severe reductions to teaching provision and staff cuts.
Degree level apprenticeships are another important part of the government's strategy to address the skills shortages and rebalance the economy. When universities shrink, the skill gap will only widen. There is a moral imperative to protect it.
20 out of 26 medical schools may be preparing to offer redundancy to clinical academics because they simply cannot afford them. Now that would be a disaster. We cannot afford to lose the very people who train the future NHS staff. So as the government rightly expands the number of medical school places, we'll depend even more on the clinical academics, and their numbers are declining. More than a third of clinical academics are over the age of 55 and are approaching retirement. We're marching towards a cliff edge, and we simply won't be able to run our medical schools.
So as a person who was born and raised in the university town, the town of Lampeter in Wales, we are now facing a very uncertain future where the university has announced its decision to relocate undergraduate teaching from the campus, from the town. The university also sustains a whole load of extracurricular, if you like, community benefits, from the arts hall to the sports facilities, and it also plays host to two of the big events in the town, that is the St David's Day March and the annual food festival. All of this is now in jeopardy, and so when we consider the importance of higher education providers, let us also remember not just the economic impact but also the wider social and community impact that they all have.
I really do urge the Minister to make representation to the Home Office to ensure that dependents can accompany academics and students as they come to the country, that we have a look again at visa costs and NHS surcharges to enable people to come to our country, to put into our country and bring such benefit, but also that economic benefit which we know has been so deeply damaging with the changing visa rules.
If the government is serious about its growth mission, then it has to work with the higher education sector to stabilise funding, protect fair pay and jobs, and ensure long-term sustainability.